Good day and greetings from the Great White North. My name is Prickly Poo and welcome to day 33 of A Year of Change. Today I'm going to just sort of dive right into an article that I read this morning actually on BBC where once again people are sort of going back and forth between weight gain and exercise and diet and everything else. Apparently there are 3 doctors that have come out with a book saying that the focus on obesity shouldn't be exercise. Rather, it should be on what people are eating. Now, it's a very oversimplified way of putting it. Essentially, now people are sort of running with that, so to speak, in saying that, now they're saying, well, you can't ignore exercise, which I don't really think they're saying. I think they're sort of leaning more towards saying it's the cause of obesity is more in line with what you're eating rather than the exercise. Your health is more related to the exercise. Try that again. Is more related to the exercise than what you're eating. So, but they've really sort of stressed the importance of, a balanced and healthy diet and getting away from junk food and stuff like that. And of course, other doctors have sort of jumped on and saying, no, it's stupid to ignore this. There's actually, I think the term they use, they just actually outright say it's can't talk. It's idiotic to ignore the role that exercise would have in weight loss. So I'll put a link down below to the actual article for you. There's a brief little video along with it. But I just sort of wanted to put this out there because we've talked about this before in regards to the wheat thing, where someone will latch onto one thing and then they'll run with it and say, no, this is the thing now. This is what we need to focus on. And people seem to have a really hard time taking information from one source and taking contradictory information from another source and combining the two and making an informed decision about something. So, although the article sort of leans towards the idea that these doctors are saying, there's 3 of them, I think, that are saying, no, ignore exercise. It's what you're eating that's causing the problem. And then other doctors that aren't saying the opposite, but they're just saying you can't ignore that. You can't ignore exercise because it puts forward this idea that, no, it's just what you're eating. You don't need to exercise. You'll be fine. You will lose the weight. And while you probably will, the problem with not exercising is, a lot of health issues that go along with that. Now, some of the arguments for this are that on the food side of things, they're saying that they're sort of blaming fast food and supermarkets and things like that, which I think is ridiculous, saying that, well, it's their responsibility because they're putting out high sugar, high fat foods, and because they're saying that, oh no, you can still exercise, you can eat whatever you want and exercise and you'll still lose weight, and they say that's wrong. Which I kind of agree with. I don't think that, there are some people that probably pretty much eat what they want, and as long as they exercise, they'll still lose weight, or they'll still maintain their weight. But if you look at what they're eating, it's probably not unhealthy food all the time. But on the other side, they're saying things that, you have your food side stating that it's the supermarket's fault and everything else. Then on the other side is sort of where we are saying the responsibility doesn't really lie with fast food people and supermarkets and the food industry in general, because we're the ones going out and buying it. We're the ones that are eating it. There are nutritional information labels on almost everything. I was going to say everything, but there are probably a few things that don't have it because it's not mandatory, I don't think. It might be here in Canada and in the US, but in the rest of the world, I don't know. But there seems to be, again, it to me anyway, it seemed to lean more towards blaming someone else other than ourselves for what the problem is. And I had heard an interview on the radio yesterday as well regarding this, where someone had said, no, we need to stop blaming the people that are fat and obese and start looking at the social issues that are tied with it. And while I understand there are going to be some, which eventually we'll get into, just people judging you and everything else, but we need to accept the fact that we are the ones that are causing this. No one is forcing us to eat this food. no one is. I mean, I'm trying to. I don't want to say no one's holding a gun to our head, but I'm going to have to say it. No one's holding a gun to our head saying that you have to eat these chips and then sit and do nothing. I mean, it's our decision. We're the ones that are going out. We're buying the food. We're eating high-fat foods, high-sugar foods. And hopefully throughout the past few weeks, we've been sort of curbing that a little bit, and you've been following along with stuff. But I think that just trying to focus on one thing or the other is a big mistake, because I don't think it's a matter of, and again, not a doctor, but looking at one thing and saying, if you do this one thing, then you'll lose weight. In this case, they're saying, just watch what you're eating and you'll lose weight. And then, of course, there are probably some other people that are saying, no, you can eat what you want, but just exercise and you'll lose weight. I don't think it's a matter of just saying, no, it has to be one or the other. I think a smart person is going to look at this information and say, okay, well, I should be exercising because I need to stay healthy, and that will help you burn calories. It's just common sense. If you exert yourself, you burn calories. So the more you do this, if you dedicate, say, an hour a week to just burning calories, it will be better than sitting watching TV. And to combine that, stop eating junk food, and instead of having a meal that costs 2,000 calories because of sauces or grease or anything else, have something that is a normal size meal. And I'm not saying you can't have junk food and can't go to fast food places. You can. I mean, people have for a very, very long time. I don't think the obesity epidemic is because of McDonald's. It's ridiculous. I think it's just because we, again, eat too much and do too little. So, but people saying they have a really hard time taking two opposing sides and merging them together to try to form an opinion. So when you do watch if you do watch the video, or if you read the article, just sort of take it with a grain of salt. I don't mean for these food puns or food idioms to come out, but they just are. And take in all the information from both sides, take a look at it, and for me anyway, I don't think it's a matter of just saying, well, we never are going to need to exercise. We'll just stop going to Burger King. It's not going to happen. In the same vein, I can't just say, well, no, eat whatever you want and exercise will be fine. I mean, during the past few weeks, we pretty much have been eating what we want because our main goal is to stay below a calorie number. That's it. As things progress, we are going to start watching more what we eat. We're going to be tweaking the sugar and the fats and things like that, and in my case, salt, because we need to have the balance, and that's what we're looking for. We aren't looking for a starvation diet. We aren't looking for a Paleolithic diet or the Atkins diet or something with no carbs or anything else. We're mainly looking at getting to a stage when we are taking in the recommended daily intake of our food and not going overboard. We're going to go over. Everybody does. That's fine. We're going to go over from time to time, but not to go to a point where they say, okay, well, your goal is whatever it is for fat, 35 grams or whatever, and then having 4 meals where there's 70 grams in every meal. And again, it's that exercise food balance that we're looking for, and getting to a point where we're eating how we should be eating. And of course, you're going to be going to McDonald's once in a while. And of course, you're going to skip your exercise once in a while. And it's going to flip around the other side. There are going to be days when you simply don't have time and you go to bed at the end of the day and you've only had 600 calories because you just haven't had the time. And which is something that we'll talk about tomorrow, actually, because the time constraints are kind of what lends us to go to the fast food places. But anyway, with this article, I think if you just take a look at it, take in all the information, it is, again, one of those all or nothing sort of opinions. But just given what we've done over the past month, take that into consideration when you're reading this. It is an interesting outlook to see it because it does stress the importance of what we're eating, which is sort of what we're focusing on right now. And that's the main reason why I wanted to bring it to your attention. Not to say that we won't be exercising because it's pointless. I think it is important that we do that just to get into a healthier frame of mind. But I do agree with the fact that a lot of our problems stem from the food, the amount and the type that we're putting into our bodies. So that's why I'm just sort of aiming you in that direction. And like I say, I'll put a link in the description below so that you'll have it. I'm assuming that it's going to stay up there for a while. But again, it's just another one of those things that piqued my interest that I thought I would share, and something that you can take something away from. And of course, again, as always, leave your comments down below, whether you agree with the fact that it's the responsibility of fast food places or supermarkets or the food industry in general to put out healthier foods and stop the high sugar and high fat foods and things like that, or if you're in the other court and saying that they can offer whatever they want, it's our decision to buy it, which is pretty much where I sit. There was a comment in the article as well that one of the viewers had left, not in mine, but in the article, and they said there are other options out there. If you can afford a big bag of chips and a chicken pot pie, then you can afford a banana and a tuna sandwich, which does make sense. So anyway, before I start rambling more than I have, take a look at it, leave your comments below, see if what you agree with, what you don't agree with, and it'll be interesting to see where things go from here. The exercise that we're going to be doing, which is sort of redirecting towards that, is going to be quite a ways away. It's another few weeks away. We're still tweaking our food and things like that, which is sort of where I want to focus this right now. So this does sort of lend to that. So hopefully you'll take a look at it, and again, take it in stride, take the information as you can, and make your own informed decision. But in the meantime, thank you very much for watching this video. If you liked it, please poke the like button for me, and in the meantime, keep yourself warm and fuzzy, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.